T20 test on one day. India, England, Australia. For a plucky big three-side slayer. What a player. What a player. What a player. Discussing zinger bells and white balls to hells. Baggy greens for long from New South Wales. Is the IPL heaven or hell? Will the 100 fail or do quite well? What a player! What a player! What a player!
Man from Kerala playing for Rajasthan in Mumbai has lit up the IPL. Sanju, Samson, what an op, but what heartbreak. Hello and welcome to Waadaplaya TSCK series, where we'll review day 4 of IPL 2021 at the Wankhede. Winner of the inaugural edition of IPL in 2008, Rajasthan Royals took on Punjab Kings, and what a run fest we had and what a game we had. I am Sanjay with our resident experts Akash and Vishak with me. Guys, welcome to the show, and what a game we've got today.
Tremendous game. Sanju Samson almost won the game single-handedly. That was a heartbreak. As he said, he actually timed that ball pretty well. Somehow it got sliced and went straight into the hands of deep cover. That was heartbreaking.
I was watching that, and me and my wife was the second last ball, and I was like, why did not he run? But then I realized Morris hasn't done much. 2 runs of 4 balls. So he thought, you know what, I might as well try and hit it for a 6. The last ball almost went for a 6. Akash, should he have taken a run of the second last ball? Should he have tried for 2?
Well, it's a debatable thing, especially when you've scored 119 yourself out of the total of 217 which they scored. He perhaps felt that he was timing it pretty well, and Morris was, for some reason, they paid him 16 crores and they don't trust him to score a 4. So that's a bit of a debatable decision. But I think being a captain himself, when you're in such pressure situations, these things can happen. But according to me, he should have taken the single. It's the first match. Give Morris the confidence that he can go for it. And you could have seen what would happen there. But whoever calls this a batsman's game, I don't agree. Arshdeep Singh, 1 ball, he turns the match completely and gives it to Punjab's hand. So never call cricket only a batsman's game. 438 runs, but 1 ball is all that matters.
Yeah, just to quickly recap the scoreboard, last time in 2020 when these two teams met, very similar scores. Rajasthan Royals again, this time chasing. Punjab had scored 220 or that time around. This time they scored 221, and Rajasthan Royals almost chased this down. That time Tewatia was the hero. This time Sanju Samson almost won it for Rajasthan. It's just so heartbreaking. But let's just quickly take a few questions. As Akash mentioned, it's a batsman's game, but the new bowlers, the uncapped players, Sakaria and Arshdeep Singh, had a fantastic day.
Yes, definitely. They both had a fantastic day. I think Sakaria, he was pretty impressive at the death with his slower deliveries. And even if you look at the last over, he conceded only 5 runs. I think that was the game-changing over. If that over had gone for around 10-15 runs, that made a difference between 220 and 230. And definitely that was a kind of a very crucial over. And even Arshdeep Singh, that last over, defending 13, being just 22, that was special actually. And after going for a 6 especially, and just to defend 5 of those 2 balls was special.
Just to put in context, Sanju Samson scored 119. The next best score is Riyan Parag with 25. He scored almost 100 runs more than the next best batsman, albeit he had a couple of chances. But in a 2020 game, to score so many of the team's runs is just unbelievable. Akash?
Yeah, I think that is particularly the reason why he chose not to take that single. He saw the batsmen around him. None of them were, got going except Riyan Parag for some extent. And Morris was just struggling. So I think that's the reason he denied the single. But overall, from an innings perspective, that was sublime. I mean, that was some hitting, irrespective of the chances he got. I mean, look at the way he flicks that ball onto the leg side and it just flies off his bat. I'm really, really surprised that when he's given chances in the Indian team, he's not able to replicate this performance in the international circuit. So hopefully he gets his chance yet again, and he's definitely going to shine this time around.
He's an absolute treat to the eye. I'll quickly take a few comments. CK, Sanju, Samson's valiant effort went in very, very close game. Absolutely agree. Taking the last ball is still a gamble. It's a debatable point, as we've already touched upon. Some disagreement. Some people think that he did the right thing, considering that no one else was able to score that many runs. Going back to the first innings, Rahul had a brilliant knock. Deepak Huda, spend some time on Deepak Huda, Vishak, with all that's happened before and what he's done now. It was incredible. I had doubts in terms of why after Chris Gayle they did not send Nicholas Pooran, a left-hander, but he proved everyone wrong. He was brilliant.
Definitely. I was pretty surprised when he came in at number 4, as you mentioned. And like a 20 ball 50, just brilliant. He took the game away from our Rajasthan Royals. If you see, they were not going at a good rate when Chris Gayle got out. It was around 8.5-ish run rate. And when he got out, they were almost going at 11 or 11.2. He completely changed the game at that point of time. And even allowed Rahul to settle down and play like how he wants to play in the middle overs and then accelerate at the end. That was a fabulous innings. Had he not played that innings, Rahul would have been in more pressure to attack, and maybe Rahul would have also got out, and they would not have ended up with that particular score. And it was clean hitting. If you see the way he was hitting, he was striking the ball big, and that was a sublime innings to watch. And it looked like a slap to Krunal Pandya, as many people in social media are already trolling him.
I can't wait for the Punjab Mumbai match. I'm waiting.
There have been so many memes, so many talking points. Unbelievable. We'll quickly take a few comments again. Comments are coming thick and fast. This is what happens, guys. It's a Monday. It's a stress buster. No one expected. These are the less fancy teams, and they gave us a cracking game. Sanju's strike rate was much better than his non-striker, and he took the onus on himself. Being the captain, remember, this is his first game as a captain. He was sublime. Rahul would be really happy that his drop chance didn't end up, resulting in a game loss for him. A few other points I wanted to pick up. What's with the uncapped players? Syed, as rightly has pointed out, Vishak, Nitesh Rana, Avesh Khan, especially the bowlers, Sakaria, Arshdeep Singh coming in and straight away performing. Look at what bench strength we have.
I think he missed Harshal Patel as well. That's one more uncapped player who has performed well. I think that's all about Indian Premier League. You give Indian talents the chance, and they come out good. It's all about that. If you see teams who have trusted in Indian talents, mainly like teams like Mumbai Indians, that's what they have done. They've trusted local talents, and that's how they've got them into the Indian team right now. So that is what all this Indian Premier League is all about. And I'm hoping that next year with 10 IPL teams, more such talents will come up.
We had another uncapped player, Meredith from Australia, and Jai Richardson. Purul Modi has pointed out both of them went for 100. And I feel sorry for the bowlers, to be honest. But when you have Arshdeep Singh, an uncapped player, hardly having much experience doing so well, you would sort of question, like, for all these big bucks, whether they are getting enough value from these players.
It's a harsh introduction to the IPL, isn't it? We mentioned about these two buys in the preview of PBKS as well. How can you spend so much on Jai Richardson and Meredith? Almost 24 crores, if I'm not wrong. And in alien conditions, they have performed well in Australian BBL, but that can't be kept as a base for picking in IPL such big buy. And today, they actually found out what actually playing in IPL means. I remember, the commentators mentioning that IPL is a different beast as comparison to the other, Premier Leagues across the world. So I think from now on, they will be learning the nuances about how to play in India, and hopefully they might, deliver according to the money that's been bought for.
Yeah, because in terms of cricketing leagues, this is the only one where it's so transparent who's getting what. All the others are, draft, etc. etc. So this money tag is always on your head. Everyone will look you through that prism. Kyle Jamieson, Glenn Maxwell, everyone. Okay, this is what you've got, and this is what you're delivering. So yeah, it is a big challenge. I cannot feel bad for anyone getting a lot of money because that's what the mechanics of the auction is. But it is what it is. Again, people highlighting Deepak Huda's innings, absolutely brilliant. Sanju Samson becomes the first man to get a IPL 100 on captaincy debut, overtaking Shreyas Iyer. Great stat that, Santosh. Kudos to Chetan Zakaria to come off good in his debut game. Chris Gale, 350 IPL sixes. Does the universal boss ever age? Vishak.
Yeah, he was looking good for another big one today, actually. The way he was hitting the ball. Unfortunate that he didn't time it pretty well. He didn't pick up that off spin. He was actually looking for a leg spinner and he got out. And he stayed on. I think it would have been carnage. He was looking in good touch. Like other teams, please watch out the way he's striking the ball. He's always a dangerous force when he's batting like this. And other thing is like Punjab Kings 11 have done Punjab Kings have done a good choice this year, making him play from the start rather than the mistake what they did last year when they brought him midway through the season. So that's a good call made by the Punjab Kings, and hope he delivers for them this year.
Akash, quick word on Shami. He looks to be absolutely fit and raring to go for Team India.
He's a peach. He's been a peach in the last couple of years. You play him in India, you play him in Punjab, doesn't matter. He's been right on the money. Bumrah and Shami, both these bowlers in the last 2 years, have been top notch. Shami, particularly, the length he bowls and gets the ball to bounce at the batsman from a very good length as well. That's very surprising. Even Stokes, for that matter, he was early into the shot, but the length which he bowled, it was too quick for him, and that's how the ball top edged and he got out. Shami has just been brilliant. I mean, watch out, guys. I mean, the toe crushes have not come today, but it will come in the future matches.
Another uncapped player I want to just quickly touch upon, Vishak, a talking point. Obviously, Sanju Samson's innings has overshadowed, but first innings, Riyan Parag coming in to bowl 1 over, bowling leg spin, and then bowling this ball, which no one has ever seen. That's probably like 2 feet low than what Kedar Jadhav bowls. And people are questioning, like, how is that possible? And then he came and scored those runs, which makes the match much closer, helped Sanju Samson. What a good day he had, although he could have done a bit more. But this, talk us about that ball.
That was a very interesting delivery because Chris Gale was going good. That was something out of the box what he thought about. And he being a leg spinner and going so low down and bowling that almost, I think it was very close to being an underarm ball. And I think he was also warned by the umpire after he bowled that ball. So to not go lower than that. And I think it'll be interesting to see if he bowls this further in the series. And I think that was an interesting delivery. And I think more and more bowlers would come up with more innovations in T20 matches because batsmen are completely dominating. I think bowlers should be given some leeway so that they can also have some say on how the matches are going. And again, on his batting, he was pretty impressive. Particularly one shot when he flicked it and it went for 6. That was a very impressive shot. And unless if Shami had not picked up his wicket, I think those two would have finished the match in 19th or midway through the 20th over. Unfortunately, Shami bowled that brilliant 17th over and got his wicket.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of underarm cricket, and that ball was not much higher than how I used to bowl the underarm. So, but his celebration, I absolutely love his celebration. Some critical comments coming from CK. Pathetic catching by both teams. I must say, yes. If this catching was better, we would have had much one-sided games, I would have thought. Akash?
Yeah, I think a part of the reason could be that I'm not too sure if it was due today, but there is evidently due in Chepauk. And I remember MSC, having an issue with it, that the game starting at 7:30, gives a bit of an advantage to the team batting first. So there will be chances that the dew may impact the catching. But catching has to be good at this is almost an international standard kind of a tournament, IPL. So you can't be dropping so many catches from either side.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly read out a couple of comments from our man of the match, Sanju Samson. He said, I think the second part of the innings was the best I ever played. Took my time and respected the bowlers. I took the singles and got into a rhythm to play my shots. He also said, I don't have words to tell. Very, very close game, but unfortunately, he couldn't win. Another quick comment from KL Rahul. I didn't stop believing in the team, and we had a couple of wickets. And we knew a couple of wickets will bring us back. We bowled well about 11, 12 overs. This has been their problem. Every year they try one thing or the other. They have five bowlers, but they always struggle with their bowling. What's the solution, Shah?
I think they don't have all-rounders. If you see, they play proper five bowlers. I was pretty surprised they let go of Krishnappa Gautam. He was their they was their all-rounder who could bowl a little bit of spin and also give that give a little bit of batting option. See, if you see their batting, whatever combination they play with their current squad, their batting will end at six. They have to play five bowlers, and if one of their bowlers have a bad day, none of the top six can bowl. I know Shah Rukh Khan can bowl a bit, but not sure like how impactful he would be, because I think he is just a kind of a medium pacer, and with this kind of bowling batting performances, he'll be taken apart. So I don't think he'll be that impactful as well. They need to look at their combination, try to fit in some good all-rounders, and that's the only solution for them. Also, if some of their batsmen who get out early, their batting ends at six. It's like if today they had the cushion because they had a very good start, their middle order could go bang bang. What if they lose three early wickets? Their middle order is under pressure, and they know their batting ends at six. They cannot go and get a good score, considering their bowling is weak. If that's because their bowling is weak, they always need a very good score. So they really need to look at their combination.
Yeah, they will have to get a lot of runs.
They are pretty lucky, actually. I mean, going in five bowlers, you can't be expecting to defend this target each and every single game. They have to somehow look at getting somebody who can bowl a few overs as a sixth bowler. Probably Gale can't play all 14 matches, so try and get Andre Case in for a few matches in there and ask him to roll his arm over. That should be one option for him.
What's with this over 8? Couple of guys have commented on the over 8. You can start the match whatever time. It ends up pretty much at the same time I used to do last year. So we're having a half an hour early start, but the over 8 seems to be getting worse and worse. Dhoni is the one who's been fined so far. Are we seeing lots of fines coming up captain's ways, Vishak?
Yeah, I think today, both the captains will be fined. I think Rajasthan Royals will be fined badly. They almost took 2 hours to bowl 20 overs. I don't think there were only delays, which I think there were a lot of sixes and there were time to get the ball back. Even if you consider it that, I think half an hour allowance for that is too much. So I think today, both the captains will be fined, and both of them had a bad over rate. And on the point of Dhoni getting fined, I think you have to start the 20th over within the 90 minutes is what it says. And there is also some allowance for some delays where injuries or somewhere the ball go, because now there are no crowds, right? So somebody has to go fetch the ball, and so these kind of delays there will be some allowance. I think that is where the first game and some other game they had some allowance, but not sure why Dhoni was alone fined. So I cannot comment on that.
I was going to come to this topic. I know we've talked about Sanju Samson, KL Rahul. I thought RCB has somehow managed to play 2 teams this IPL. So if you do not win, play 2 teams, you double your chances. Is that what's happening? So Vishak and Akash, this would be your second team to support?
I was in shock when I saw KL Rahul at the toss. I was surprised that the IPL T20 website hasn't updated any of the picks of the Punjab guys. And when I saw KL Rahul at the toss, I was wondering, have I seen this in 2009? 2009 was the year, I think, when RCB had a similar jersey. There was a tweet going on between PBKS and RCB a few days back, wherein RCB thanked PBKS for giving Maxwell, and they in return thanked for giving Gale, Rahul, and others. And then RCB went back again saying that thank you for the jersey, I guess. I don't know. So I think it's been more or less the same kind of a jersey, if I'm not wrong.
And another thing, I was also surprised. Akash mentioned about the jersey, and when they came out to bat, I saw that golden pads again, which RCB used to use. So
And the
I
golden
was
helmet.
surprised saying that the golden helmet. It was a complete RCB outfit.
Oh my God, yeah. I would say the last time Rajasthan won the IPL in 2008, Sanju Samson was 13 years old. Hope he can turn things around this time and change their luck, and we have a new winner. Both Punjab Kings, Rajasthan Royals haven't won an IPL for a while, so I'm hoping we have a relatively new winner who hasn't won for a while or wins it for the first time. Right, enough of today's game. That was a mind-blowing game. Let's quickly look forward to what's coming tomorrow. We have Korbo Lorbo Jeetpure versus Mumbai Indians. KKR versus Mumbai Indians. Your ex-team, Vishak, Mumbai Indians. How do you see tomorrow's game panning out? Who's got the upper hand?
I think KKR with the first victory will definitely go with much more confidence than the Mumbai Indians. But KKR should be beware of Rohit Sharma because Rohit Sharma has a very good record against KKR and he seems to perform the best among all the teams in IPL against KKR. So expect a big innings from him, and I think Mumbai Indians will end up on top.
I'll think slightly different
Sorry,
here.
Akash?
I'll think slightly different here. I think Mumbai Indians are going to be a bit of a slow starters this time around. And KKR seem to be in a good nick. Everybody out there, even expect Gill to perform well tomorrow as well. So I think KKR will end up coming on top tomorrow.
Any foreign players to watch out for from both teams quickly? I don't want to make this into our fantasy session, but since we are all three here, let's just quickly touch upon it.
I can't look past Surya Kumar Yadav. I just can't look past him at the moment.
Same, I can't look beyond Rohit Sharma and Surya Kumar Yadav. And somehow I feel Nitish Rana has I hope he breaks the rut of 50 and first ball ducks tomorrow. Though he has that continuous rut, scores a 50, then a first ball duck. So he has been doing that continuously. So hopefully tomorrow's the day he changes it.
If I'm not wrong, Akash, Rohit Sharma's got a fabulous record against KKR.
Yes, definitely. He definitely has a fabulous record. And at Eden Gardens especially, he is just brilliant. But this is not at Eden. So let's see how it pans out tomorrow.
Fantastic, guys. Right. I think we will end it there. This has been great. Akash, Vishak, thank you for joining. For our viewers, hope you've enjoyed this show. Lastly, do join us back for the next match and check out other contents on our channel that you may like. Also, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and continue to support us. Till then, goodbye and thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.